breakdowns, man. Do copy breakdowns. See if good. Chris is here. Awesome. So we're going to talk to Chris Orzakowski in a second, because Chris is started doing this recently, and brilliantly, as he does everything. And it's just man, it's the simplest thing you can do and teach, because if you're a copywriter and you're studying, you must be breaking down the copy you're reading in your own mind as you read it. Is that not true? We're all doing that, right? And all you got to do then is find a way to teach it, and that's comfortable for you. It might be an experience you had with a piece of marketing, a business. I wrote one. Let me share a screen and give you some examples. Let me get on the right page. So I wrote one. I did many of these, and not all of them made it over when I got rid of my old blog, The Copywriter's Edge. Remember that classic, y'all? Some of the material made it over. This was one called How to Make People Love Giving You Money. Pretty good title, right? And this is probably not true, but my headline was, there's only one way to make men enjoy shopping for clothes, and Trunk Club did it. And so this is a breakdown of this whole experience I had, where a company called Trunk Club saw me on Creative Live. And I don't know if you can see these photos, but I was clearly the guy who didn't get the memo that, hey, if you're going to be on TV, maybe dress nice. You know, there's Melanie Duncan. She's a fashionista. There's a young Pat Flynn who, you know, was wearing his dad's suit. Pat used to dress very formally, right? And there's Kev. And you know what influenced my wardrobe? The fact that we were in Seattle. And I was like, I'm going grunge, man. I got a head nod, hat tip to Dave Grohl up in this. And so there's my brilliant outfit: jeans, sneakers, and flannel. So how do I get out of this? Okay. And so then I get this email from a woman who says, Kevin, I'd like to be your personal stylist. Wow, great timing. And Mary Houlihan. And she goes on to tell me that she saw me on Creative Live, and it just so happens that Derek and Pat are clients of hers, and she loved my style and would like to know if I was interested in having her send me clothes, and I could go through them and keep what I like and send back the rest and only pay for what I want. And we know now that this is a common practice for how to shop for clothes. Anyway, point being, inspiration can come from anywhere for doing breakdowns. Somebody who does them extremely well is our friend Will Hookinga. Will's been on my podcast a couple times. He's a member of Copy Chief, and he has taken breakdowns kind of to the next level. He adds these emojis, Bitmojis, and makes them really fun. Also does a really smart thing. Has a feed of Twitter and people like talking about how great these breakdowns are, right? So social proof right there. And Will just makes these like super cool and fun. And even before he added the Bitmoji and all the cool stuff, I always admired Will's breakdowns, because again, it reminded me of what I did and what I preach, which is do what's on your mind. You don't have to kill yourself to try to come up with content. Just talk about what you're seeing as a copywriter, because man, it reminds us that what we're doing is special and unique and interesting and not the norm. It's great that your neighbor has no effing idea what you do when you try to explain it to them at the barbecue, at the block party. And they come up to you 2 weeks later and go, hey man, I got a legal question for you. How do I copyright a poem? I wouldn't call myself a poet, but I wrote a thing that I think's pretty good, and I just don't want to get it stolen. So you help me out with copyright? Okay. And so that's, good, because it makes us specialists, unique. The fact that you're obsessed with copy and becoming a freelancer and making yourself available, it's a specialty, man. You're already a specialist. So you need to celebrate that. Don't compare yourself to anybody else who's ever done this or taught this or broken down a piece of copy. It doesn't matter. Find your style, find your way, and educate people on what you do. All this to say, to circle back to, I saw Dave and it inspired me to talk about this. Dave Power has several specialties. He is to me, in my experience, and I've worked with a few, as good a video producer as you could find. And of course, you know, if you want to get into filmmaking or something, he might go, well, that's where I draw. I don't know what, but for me, for a marketer, man, I'm telling you what, you just can't beat somebody who totally gets what you're trying to do, can take your ideas, make them better than you gave them, give you a script, and then hand you back amazing video. If you see the video at the top of the Real Free Life sales page, that's David's work, exactly in that process. All right. So it's not hurting David that he, you know, writes financial copy and to also be known as a great video producer. It only makes him, it fortifies his abilities, but you know, you have to compartmentalize, but you can have multiple specialties in bat signals. Okay.